Maggie Klein, welcome to the Breakfast Nook. So I'm going to pull out my binder. So I'm not much of a Magic player anymore. I kind of don't like playing Magic that much, really, anymore. I'm really not a gamer. I don't fit in gaming crowds very well, and so I don't really. So I just go to pre releases and play in pre releases, and that's it. And then I do my review based on the pre release. Or in the case of Free for Night, Game Night Free for All, I'm still waiting to play it, and then I'll do another review. But I decided, instead of doing one card and talking about one card, I'm going to talk about a series of cards as I wind through my binder and explain why they are important to me. So, the first thing you see open in my binder is my favorite Magic card, Wild Mongrel. This is tops down. This card has won me more Magic games than I care to count. So there have been two epic tournaments that I have been in. And there's two stories that I could tell. I'm going to tell the first story about how I almost made the Pro Tour, but got so tired I messed up and lost. So yes. And it was playing a blue-green Madness deck. Because Madness is broken. You get a free card thrown out on the battlefield for low to no mana cost. And that brings up the next card in the binder as we flip through the binder. And where is it? This is for the second story. The Arrogant Worm. See, the whole thing about the Arrogant Worm is it's a pitch. You get a +1/+1. You just got a ++1 on your Wild Mongrel. So it was a great card in its day, and it gave you a 6/6 worm for like 4 mana, and it was broken. I don't have many of the blue spells in here because I have more affinity for the green because of what I did on my second story that I will tell one of these days. About my days in vintage Magic. So, Royal Assassin is one of my favorites. It was in my winning deck. This is another spell, but this is for the second story. So as we go through, I just collect Dwarven Demolition Team because I thought the card was awesome and it was hard to come by. Sorcerer's Queen for personal reasons, Shivan Dragons because it's a Shivan Dragon. That's a story why I have a Jewel Bird in there. And then the next card. This won me my first draft. I drafted this as a first round pick, and it was my backbone that won. I would throw it out. It comes in free first turn. Or I throw it off with one of my discard cards. And it would just dominate the field. It was part of the winning combo. So now getting into the story and why, and looking, Aqua Amoeba was another piece of that deck that I loved. So as you can tell, it was a blue-green deck, and it was a blue-green Madness Threshold deck. It took advantage of the set mechanics, and it was great because it had cards from other sets, such as Merfolk Looter. There's a story behind that card. And I think that's all the pieces that I have in here that I've kept as mementos. I mean, Wonder wasn't part of it, but we experimented with Wonder for the second story. All right. I don't know why I have the Jade Leech. Anyways. It was my Blue-Green Madness deck. And so here was the thing. So we were trying to come up with a deck for me to play in the tournaments to go to the Pro Tour, the Pro PDQs. Because back then they used to have PDQs up and down the East Coast, and so you go to the East Coast. So I started I started so I started with with God. I started playing right around Odyssey, so Torment actually. And so I picked it up and I was just loving it. So Blue Green was the deck. I just went on Star Cities Games and picked a deck, and then I went to the Lucky Frog, which has a great history in Legacy Magic. It was one of the Legacy shops. I played in the Legacy scene back in the day, and honestly, I never really left much of a mark on Legacy. But anyways, Blue Green Madness Threshold, not Threshold, but that's a different deck. so so you know, it's pretty simple. You open up, you put Aquamoeba, you put down a green, you then put down another colorless, you put down the Wild Mongrel, then they attack, then you drop, damage, dun 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 dun, boom, 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 boom. You have 2 creatures out by turn 3. And you have the mana to pump it up, and all you have to do now is start ditching your hand to. And because you're running blue, you have draw, so you're drawing up cards constantly, doing blue draw cards. You do Merific Looter and things like that. So it was a really fun deck to play. I mean, I didn't play in block because by that point I was just so like, I was just, I was done. I had my epic tournament, and I couldn't do better than that, and I didn't want to. I just didn't feel I was good enough. So, and shortly after that, I played a few more. I dragged on for a year, and then quit Magic completely, and sold off my Magic cards to pay for plumbing. So why I love those cards so much is I had an epic tournament. The best results I've ever done in a 500-man tournament. It was a 550-man tournament, I believe, in New Jersey. We had played Magic the night before and drove up, so I was functioning on a lot of less sleep. So I open up, I'm playing a pro, local pro who, people know who he is, but he hasn't, he's a pro who's not, he has other things in life now, so he's not playing Magic all the time. So he's not, and I was playing Magic all the time, so I was getting really good at piling his blue. I just played it and practiced it, and just it was my life for months. So I just knew how to play that deck, like boom, 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 boom. Like Mark Perez played. I'm not gonna say it, but Fish. And so, where he discovered the advantage of the mana land, mana lands that become creatures, the creature mana lands, whatever they're called. So, so I am excited. Yeah, I'm excited for Brothers War, but that's a different video. So I go to this tournament. So I'm playing. My first round opponent is a pro, someone who knows how to play Magic really well. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. I wasted all this time, and I'm tired, and we'll get at it. We'll get out of Jersey by 3, and be back by 5, and I'll go to sleep, and it'll be great. No, I take him 2-0. That guy stayed in the tournament just to make sure my tiebreakers were good enough to get me on the Pro Tour. He respected me that much. I piloted the deck that well. And then I proceeded to my next match. I won. Went to my next match 2-0. My next match 2-0. I'm now in my fourth match, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like starting to move towards the top tables, and it's like, wow. So it's round 5. I'm tired by this time. So I play my deck, and I win 2-0. So now I'm in 15th place. So I'm in the top tables. This could have been a feature match back when they didn't kind of, back in the day when that was something. Anyways, so there's a break. So I go get food, I relax, I breathe easy because now it's down to the top 24 players. And that's all that's left in the tournament. And I'm in the top 24. However, I have to be in 15th place. So right now, I have my best shot at being on the Pro Tour. This is epic for me. My friend who came with me was just like, wow. Calling down to the shop. The shop was like getting updates from him. They were calling back. The Lucky Frog was having a great time. Great. It was awesome. And so I play my 6th round. I make my first misplay of the entire tournament and then melt down and pass out at the table. I finished somewhere in the top 20, but not good enough to qualify for the Pro Tour. But still, I played some of the best Magic of my life that day, and that was epic. For the second story, I'll do that video later and explain that one. That goes back to a vintage story.